And here, right here, I was completely winning. The engine says white is plus 4.6. I still can't believe it. Me, a 1700 ready player, against a titled player. But of course, there's no evaluation bar during the game, and I missed the one move that would have won the game. The other day, I stumbled across alexandrachess livestream and I couldn't believe my eyes. She was accepting game challenges from the viewers. Of course, she needs no introductions, but in case you don't know her, alexandrachess is a woman candidate master and one of the most popular chess content creators. I've watched her videos for years, and suddenly I had the chance to actually play her. So I joined the queue and waited for my turn. I could already feel the tension building. She is a titled player with so much more experience than me, and on top of that, I was going to play on her live stream. The pressure was real. But somehow, against all the odds, I managed to reach a completely winning position. So I get the white pieces and I start with 1 e4. And Alexandra replies with c5, the Sicilian defense, of course. By the way, if you're not already following Alexandra, you'll find a link to her channel in the description. It's totally worth checking out. So I continue with knight c3 and I start the closed Sicilian defense. Usually, people play knight f3 and the purpose is to play d4, open a position, and that leads to the open Sicilian. But I want to avoid all the theory and I like to play knight c3 on the second move. So I'm going to go now real quick over the first moves in the opening because let's see what happens in the middle game. So she replies with g6, this standard response to for black to the closed Sicilian, and she's going to fianchetto her bishop. So I fianchetto also my bishop, so g3, bishop g7, bishop g2, okay, knight c6, and now I play d3. This is all standard moves, and we're going to see what kind of setup I want to reach. So, okay, bishop e3, d6, and now I play queen d2. So now if you look at this, there is this battery with the queen and the bishop here on this diagonal, because black has a very strong bishop. A bishop that has been fianchettoed and is controlling the big diagonal, right? So now white's middle game plan is to try to get rid of that bishop. And you can do that with this plan. You create a battery, and then I will want to play bishop h6 and trade off these two bishops. Of course, before playing bishop h6, I need to support it with the queen. So this is all, opening moves, all book moves, but yeah, that's my plan. And let's see how it continues. So she plays a6, it's preventing a knight jump to b5, and I take some time, h3, okay, I still want to decide, I don't want to commit too early with the rest of the pieces, and okay, knight g2, she goes for b5, and I play rook b1. This move, just so you know, is that if she attacks my knight with b4, I need to move it, of course, but then my pawn would have been captured by the bishop. So I want to prevent all of that and already defend it with the rook. So that's why I played rook b1. She starts with h5, okay, she takes some space here on the king side, and I play a3, go on, rook b8, okay, now it's time for me to play d4. Takes, knight takes, and now she goes queen c7, okay. It's time for me to castle, also because I wouldn't be able to castle on the queen side, so okay, now it's time to, while earlier, I could have been thinking, okay, maybe I'm going to castle long, now for sure I'm going to have to castle short. And the same is also for her, since she moved the rook. So knight g7, she also gets ready to castle. And since I know she's going to castle short, then I want to already start to reroute my knights and my pieces towards, the king side and start my attack on that part of the board. And she goes knight e5. Now, this knight here want to jump on c4 and from there fork my queen and my bishop. And of course, I'm going to need to save my queen, right? But in that case, of course, I'm going to lose my bishop. And then the plan I was talking about earlier, to have this battery to get rid of this bishop, is going to fall apart. And I don't want to do that, of course, because I really like that plan, and this bishop is very strong. So I hope to remove it from the chessboard. So right now it's very important for white to play the move b3. This is a prophylactic move that prevents this, knight c4. And that's actually like the best move according to the engine, so I was very happy then when I analyzed the game. Okay, so b3. Sorry, I'm not gonna lose this bishop for now. Let's see. Castles. And here I'm like, okay, now I can finally play bishop h6. Of course, this bishop is pinned, otherwise she's gonna lose the rook for a bishop, and she doesn't want to lose the exchange. So, okay, nice move for me. I'm gonna surely get rid of this bishop. My middle game plan is working. She plays, okay, knight 7 c6, and here I take the bishop. Bishop takes g7, king takes g7, and at this point I'm realizing that, I already realized it earlier when she moved the knight here, that this knight, just check it out, is basically trapped, because it cannot go to these 4 squares, of course, because they're controlled, they're occupied by other pieces, and here will be captured by my pawn, here also, here by my bishop, and here also by my pawn. So of course here I play f4, attacking the knight. The knight is, some of you maybe going to think like, but wait, this knight is also hanging, but you know, it's not actually hanging because I take it, like she takes it, knight takes d4. Now I take with the queen, and now this knight is pinned, so she cannot retreat it to c6. So now I'm going to win it, right? But she can play, and she plays queen takes c2. So now she's counterattacking the other knight, my knight here that is actually undefended. Always watch out for your loose pieces, guys. So I play f takes e5, I take the knight, and she captures my knight. So queen takes e2. And here we are, the critical position. Now feel free to pause and try to find the winning idea yourself. And if you really want to challenge yourself, try to find the whole winning line. But I warn you, it's like a 6-move sequence. And also drop your answers in the comments. I'm generally curious to see how many of you would have won the game in my place. So the only winning move here is rook f2, because you need to attack black's queen. Now check out this queen. Cannot go here because of the bishop, cannot go here because of the pawn, cannot go here because of the queen, cannot go here because of the queen, cannot go here because of the pawn. Now cannot go here because of the rook, can go here and also here because of this other rook. So her queen is trapped. But wait, it's not that simple, right? It's chess. So I'm attacking her queen, which is trapped, but also now black can try to counterattack. Actually, let's go on with this line. D takes e5, attacking my queen. But wait a second, here I continue with queen takes e5, check. And now black, of course, interposes the pawn, counterattacking my queen again, f6. So I need to retreat it. This is very important. I need my queen to be here on d4 because it needs to control these 2 squares. Otherwise, her queen can run away, right? So I need to go queen d4 again. And now she can try to kick me away of d4 with e5. And again, my queen is under attack while her queen is under attack. But here I have queen takes d7 check. I win a bishop totally for free with tempo. And here black needs to interpose the rook, rook f7, but I can also take the rook. Queen takes f7 check. Again with tempo, of course. Now king takes f7, and now it's again my turn. And you remember her queen? Now it can run away, but it's my turn, and I'm gonna win it. White plays rook takes e2. And the position is just one. Look at this. I would be up a rook and a bishop against a rook. The engine says what? Plus 6.03. Yeah, a very complicated line that, of course, I didn't see. So I'm really, really curious to know if some of you saw it, and if some of you saw the whole sequence actually, because yeah, rook f2 is possible to find it, I would say, easily, but then, you know, there are these attacks on the queen, and I need to see that I need to go then back to d4 and then take the bishop, and in the meanwhile, you know, this pawn is moved. So it's not an easy line at all, at least for my level. It was really hard. So I didn't play rook f2. What did I play? By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, please like and subscribe to support the channel. For you it's free, but it would really mean a lot to me. Alright, back to the game. I was like, okay, wait, I can take this pawn. E takes d6 check. It's a discover check, of course, and I take a pawn, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have a passed pawn, and it's gonna be definitely an asset, and I'm gonna use it in the endgame. So actually, this is not like an entirely bad move at all, but you know, I didn't see the winning move when I should have. So he takes d6, okay. She continues with f6. Of course, she defends the king, and only now, one move too late. Only one move too late. I'm like, hey, wait a second. The queen is being trapped, like for all the things that I showed you earlier. So now I play rook f2. But here it doesn't work because chess is hard. And one move too late is totally different because now she has e5, attacking my queen. That's what she plays, of course. And now, you know, I cannot do anything. I need to move my queen, and I cannot, you know, control these two squares anymore. And you know why e5 was possible? Because someone vacated this square playing e takes d6. You know, this is the irony of life, I would say. It's not only that I didn't see the right move, but I only made a move that then ruined the moment when I found the right move. You know what I mean? If I hadn't played this, she wouldn't have had e5, and maybe her queen would have still been trapped, but that's a totally different story. So, okay, let's see how the game continued. I missed the move, of course. Okay, so e5. I need to move my queen. And here, look, I've been thinking 2 full minutes, been like, okay, is there somehow a way I can still keep her queen trapped? But no, because after queen c3, of course, come rook c8, actually rook b c8, yeah, attacking my queen. And now, okay, I was like, okay, it's done. There's nothing I can do. Let's continue and see how it goes. I take, queen takes c8. Here, of course, she doesn't take instantly. First, she takes this queen and this rook with queen takes f2 check, again with tempo. By the way, just to show you, here, like playing a move like queen d3, you know, like would have been totally wrong, being like, okay, I get out of danger and attacking my, you know, my rook on b1. But no, because that would have let me play queen c2, you know, so this queen now is protected, and I want a rook for free. So of course, you know, she doesn't, that's why I picked this line, but of course she didn't do that mistake. So I take the rook, she takes the rook with tempo. I need to take back, of course, king takes f2, and she takes my queen, rook takes c8. Now, if you check the material, we're totally equal, right? I have a rook, she has a rook, I have a bishop, she has a bishop, and we have what? 6 pawns, and she has, yeah, 6 pawns. So material is equal, but equal material, it doesn't mean that the position is equal at all, actually, because if you look at this bishop of mine, here on this diagonal, it's basically hitting against my own pawn. It's hitting against a wall, and yeah, so it's totally useless. And if I want to play with it, right, if I want to activate it and I go bishop f1, it's going to hit against this other pawn. So I cannot go here to c4, and I cannot go to d3 because it's going to be, you know, blocked by my own pawn. So this bishop is totally bad and, yeah, almost useless. And at the same time, look at her rook. It's already activated on a diagonal, sorry, on a file. So her rook controls the file, and I need to, prevent the rook from getting even more stronger. Rook are already very strong pieces. They're heavy pieces, and when they get on an open file and they control it, they get even stronger, right? And they can get even much more stronger than that if they arrive on the second rank, in this case for black, or on the 7th rank. So I need to prevent this, and I play rook b2. This is the right move, but it's so wrong. I mean, it's the right move again, but it's wrong. It's like a bad move because I'm using a strong piece like a rook in a passive way. Now it's staying here to defend the c2 square, and yeah, I have two pieces that are not doing anything against a much stronger player. So you can already imagine, right, how it's gonna end. She activates her king. Of course, she is totally like playing the best moves, she knows how to handle this endgame. And I'm trying, to do something, but yeah. So let's go quickly here. Okay, check. I move the king again. And, look at this rook now. This rook is still controlling the file and is attacking my pawn. And my rook is stuck here to control this square to defend, c2, and now to defend also the pawn. So very active and attacking rook against a very passive, weak rook. So I understand that I gotta play, right? I gotta find something. So I sacrifice a pawn. I play a4, b takes a4, b takes a4, and of course, my pawn was hanging there. So I'm like, okay, I lost a pawn, which I wasn't happy at all, but that's the only thing I could do because now at least I can start playing, I can now also my rook is on an open file and I'm gonna be able to play with my bishop. So at least, this is a concept that can come in very handy. You can sacrifice material, can sacrifice a pawn to have some piece activity. And I mean, the position is still, very winning for black, but at least I can do something, right? So I play like rook b6 check. She interposed the rook because of course you want to trade rooks and, then win the endgame with the extra material. And here I mustn't trade rooks. So, okay, rook b2 again. Let's see, okay. So some moves. As I said, I activate my bishop. And I pin her bishop. Okay, she unpins it. I push the pawn because I didn't want it to be, on a light square and being under attack. Now my bishop is attacking her pawn. A check, of course. King e3. And now, she goes on a2 and she's gonna attack my pawn. So I know it and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna lose it. But I'm going to take a pawn in the main pawn. Bishop takes a6. Okay, so rook takes a5, and now I need to move my bishop. And where would I move it? Of course, not here, because it would be captured and I would lose it. What I thought is that, okay, this bishop is also attacking my pawn, so I'm going to move it all the way back to f1 so that I can defend that pawn. I play it, but the position is not that good. It's getting worse and worse, and in a moment we're going to see why. So comes a check, king f2. She's like my rook, so I need to, of course, move it away, and I play rook b6, now attacking this pawn. Check again, and king g1. Now comes rook a1. Now consider this, and now you can see that this bishop that was defending my pawn is now pinned, right? This is an absolute pin and I cannot move it. So when a piece is pinned in an absolute pin, it loses its defending skills, let's say. So this pawn is basically hanging. And, I was like, okay, take it because I'm going to take this pawn of yours and I'm good with that. So that's why I play rook takes f6. I was like, okay, take it, no problem. And here I was happy, I was visualizing the position. I'm like, okay, so it's going to be that I take her pawn, she takes my pawn, but she's attacking my bishop with two pieces. But now after rook b6, rook takes, f6, I was very proud of myself. I'm like, but the rook there is going to also defend my bishop. So this bishop is attacked twice, defended twice, it's all good. But actually it's not. And I'm going to show you why. Now, this king, first of all, needs to stay close to the bishop. I can never go to h2 or h1 because then, it's going to be 2 attackers against 1 defender if I move away, and I'm going to lose it. So I don't want to lose it. And my idea was like, okay, I'm going to activate my king, going to, of course, I cannot go to g2 because it's occupied, it's controlled by the bishop. And I'm going to go to f2. And then, so activate my king and then somehow get rid of this pin. And then I can, we see what we do. So I play rook f2 because after, I was thinking about, I'm going to do this thing and stuff. But then I realized one thing, that if I play king f2 now or even afterwards, in that moment, now it's black to move, and my king is actually blocking my rook. So in order to activate my king, I'm basically canceling the defendance of my rook on that. And look at here now, it's attacked twice and it's defended only once. This means that I'm going to lose my bishop. But that's not all. Because after king f2 would have come rook takes f1 check, so I lost my bishop. But this is also a skewer. So I need to move my king, of course, king e2, and then I lose also my rook. Rook takes f6. And here I would have resigned, of course. I mean, there's nothing I can do at all in general against her. But in this position, really, I can totally lost. I'm down a bishop and a rook and a pawn, like, okay. So, I was happy about this rook takes f6, but then I realized, no, I'm totally stuck. There's nothing I can do. I started panicking and I'm like, okay, what can I do? My time was going down, like it's 1 minute and 59 seconds now. The clock is ticking and I needed to come up with something that doesn't exist. There's nothing I can do. So I was just like, shuffling my rook along the F file, hoping to get an idea, but nothing. So yeah, random moves basically. And here I'm like, okay, rook f2. She's getting closer with the king. She's activating her king again. She's centralizing it, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna sacrifice my bishop. There's nothing I can do. Okay, bye bishop. And after bishop takes f1, at least I can activate my king. And here, I mean, it's totally lost, but I was like, okay, if magically, by chance, I managed to trade rooks, and somehow these pawns, don't promote. I mean, I have this pawn that is controlling 2 pawns, right? This very structure. Capablanca used to call it like a unit that holds 2. So it's not that bad, but still, the king's gonna come and then she's gonna get a pass pawn. But even if, I'm like, okay, if somehow I manage to survive this endgame and I trade everything, it's gonna be like king and bishop against king, and she cannot force checkmate. So maybe it's gonna be a draw. So that's why I was like, okay, I'm gonna lose the bishop. I'm gonna give it up. But let's see. So, of course, she's so strong and she activates the rest of the pieces. Okay, give a random check. Okay, rook b6 check, bishop b6, rook b8. There's nothing I can do here. So I'm just like, okay, hoping for a miracle. I'm like, okay, I'm just considering when to resign, basically. I swear, I'm like, okay, should I resign now? Maybe now, I don't know. Okay, she's attacking here. So I'm just like trying to defend it, but nothing. And okay, keep making some moves. Here, another check, of course. I'm going very quickly because none of my moves make any sense. And after this, I even, lose a pawn, but of course, that's the least of my problem. And after here, king e2, I see that she has 2 passed pawn, of course. The rook is here, so it's going to cut off my king. And, I have 39 seconds, she has 27 seconds, and of course I respect her so much and I would never try to flag her. And even if I wanted, of course she's not going to fall for that and she's going to beat me anyway. So there was really nothing to do here, and I was happy to, not happy, but yeah, I had to resign, and I resigned in this very position. So that was it. Chess is a ruthless game. One move is all it takes. I was so close to beating a woman candidate master, but blew it because I saw the right move one move too late. But I have to be honest with you. After the game, I went back to her live stream to watch, to watch the game from her perspective. And I realized that while I was fully locked in, playing what felt like the game of my life, she was totally chill, casually chatting with her viewers the whole time. In that moment, I realized that the gap between us was even bigger than I thought. Getting to a winning position was only possible because she wasn't fully focused on the game. But honestly, that's fine. And it's actually really motivating. Playing at that level while casually chatting with your viewers? Oh my god, that's something I can't even imagine right now. But it's exactly where I want to get to. And I'm gonna work hard to get there. So thank you so much, Alexandra, for the game and most importantly for the inspiration. Hopefully one day we're gonna play a rematch and maybe next time I would see the right move at the right time.